If you are a history enthusiast, a survivalist, or simply fascinated by the untold stories of World War II, this guide is going to take you deep into the shadows of history where courage and ingenuity intersected with danger. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to this channel and comment below with your thoughts, because what you're about to discover is not just a story, it's a blueprint for understanding human resilience in the face of extreme adversity. Today, we're exploring forgotten World War II escape routes, civilian networks that spirited people to freedom, uncovering the intricate civilian networks that helped thousands flee occupied territories, and offering insights that can be applied to survival thinking even today. During World War II, while armies clashed across Europe, a quieter, invisible war was taking place behind enemy lines. Ordinary citizens, farmers, shopkeepers, teachers, and even children became part of secret networks dedicated to guiding soldiers, political refugees, and Jews to safety. These were not formal intelligence operations. These were human chains built on trust, local knowledge, and an acute understanding of the landscape. In France, the Comet Line operated largely out of the homes of civilians, moving downed Allied airmen from Brussels to Spain. People risked everything, from execution to the destruction of their homes, to ensure others could survive. Studying these networks reveals more than history. It shows how ordinary skills, when combined with situational awareness and courage, can create extraordinary results. The effectiveness of these escape routes was often dictated by geography. Dense forests, mountain passes, and rivers became natural allies. The Ardennes in Belgium, the Pyrenees along the Franco-Spanish border, and the marshlands of the Netherlands were critical corridors that civilian networks exploited. Resistance members meticulously studied these areas, learning the safest paths, identifying observation points, and noting where patrols were likely to change schedules. Understanding this element of survival teaches us an essential principle. Environment can be leveraged to your advantage. For instance, if you are attempting a modern wilderness survival scenario, selecting terrain that provides natural concealment and multiple exit points significantly increases your odds of evading detection. World War II civilians intuitively understood this centuries before survival manuals formalized the principles. The networks relied on an intricate flow of information. Messages were often delivered by couriers on bicycles, sometimes hidden in bread baskets or false compartments. Coded letters were sent through ordinary postal systems, and seemingly mundane conversations often carried instructions only understood by the intended recipients. This aspect has a modern survival application as well. Maintaining secure and redundant lines of communication in dangerous situations is a principle that remains timeless. Even something as simple as using a predetermined signal or marker system within a trusted group can prevent confusion and ensure safety under pressure. World War II civilians often had no radios or encryption devices, yet their success rate was extraordinary because of discipline, planning, and mutual trust. A key strategy in these escape networks was, the use of disguise and falsified identities. Refugees were given false papers, children were dressed as farm laborers, and even entire trains were manipulated to move people unnoticed. Every detail mattered, from clothing color to the way someone carried themselves. For instance, Jewish children being smuggled out of occupied territories were sometimes trained to adopt new accents or local customs to avoid detection. From a survivalist perspective, this really underscores the importance of blending in and understanding local behavioral norms. Situational adaptation, changing your appearance, your routines, or your signals based on the environment, is a skill cultivated during wartime, but honestly highly applicable in survival planning, whether you are navigating hostile territory or simply traveling through unfamiliar areas with risk factors. Perhaps the most striking lesson is that these networks were successful not because of weapons or brute force, but because of trust. Entire communities took on risk collectively, ensuring that safe houses, food, and guidance were always available for those in need. A farmer might provide shelter, while a teacher arranged safe passage for a child, and a courier moved messages between them. For those studying survival, this is a critical insight. No matter how well you plan individually, the strength of your community or network often dictates long-term success. In modern contexts, this could translate into knowing your neighbor's skills, building relationships with trustworthy allies, or creating a communication chain that can function even if one link, fails. Studying these WWII escape networks offers practical lessons. First, map out the terrain and understand your environment intimately. Second, develop discrete communication channels within trusted groups. Third, learn to adapt your appearance and behavior to your surroundings when necessary. Fourth, foster deep trust and cooperation within your network, because honestly, human connections can be more reliable than technology or equipment. Even beyond survival, these principles have relevance in leadership, crisis management, and risk mitigation. The resourcefulness and courage of civilians who orchestrated escapes during WWII remain an enduring testament to the power of preparation, knowledge, and human resilience. As you reflect on these stories, consider how you can integrate these historical lessons into your own preparation and understanding of survival strategies. The more we study these networks, the more we realize that the true weapons of wartime survival were, without a doubt, ingenuity, courage, and community. If this deep dive into Forgotten WWII Escape Routes civilian networks that spirited people to freedom has sparked your curiosity, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more explorations of wartime ingenuity, survival tactics, and untold historical narratives. Comment below with which escape networks or survival strategies fascinate you the most, and share this video with fellow history enthusiasts who want to see how ordinary civilians changed the course of lives, and really, history itself.